Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey,
I kept doing it. No, I kept turning the mute
so
on.
Much.
All right. Well, now that debacle's over, Dale.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Dale kept muting Josh's mic, which was hilarious.
I finally figured out the macro keys for my mute button, and then Dale's like, "No, fuck you," every time I try to hit it. Nope. And I'm just sitting here like, bam, 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 and it still wasn't working. Oh, I feel like an idiot.
So we got a
feel
great
like
show.
one to be like one.
At least I don't look like one.
Ooh.
Oh, burn. Sick burn, bro.
I mean that from the setup.
Antibacterial ointment for that burn. All right, so we got a great show for you guys here. We're just going to roll right into it. Sexy news. Josh, how's your Philly D Patreon thing going?
Well, so I have no idea if anyone from the Philip DeFranco discourse is listening to this podcast. I did, Discord had, I did totally throw out our, name drop the podcast in there, and got some science-y topics from some people in there. Really cool meeting the nation. Honestly, the success of this has made me very hopeful for different independent journalists in the future. I like the idea that there's a way to get money for, doing just journalism. It doesn't have to come through ad revenue. It doesn't have to come through anything like that. It's just subscription from your fans. I think that's kind of cool. Speaking of product placement.
No, I definitely agree.
Yeah, I think it's just the coolest thing ever. And then the fact that now the community gets to talk and I have no idea who the people I was talking to, where they're located, but I mean, Phil DeFranco has reach all over, and 600 people in a room. It was a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty cool. So,
well, I'm okay with product placement or advertisement. My issue is with how you people advertise. One of the things that I like. Have you ever?
What
seen
do you mean, you people?
I was just going to say, you people. We are you people.
What I say? I don't remember what I said.
How you people advertise?
I don't remember. Point is, though, what I'm trying to say is there's a show called Smarter Every Day, and the guy, I think his name is Destin, he actually takes the time to research and learn and actually utilize the products before he advertises them. So I think the two biggest one he does is Kiwi Boxes. He does Audacity. Audible. He does, he actually likes the product before he does it. And I think that's a way that people should be advertising is utilize the product, figure out if it's a good product, and then, try to share it while still getting revenue for it, but try to, say, hey, this is a good one. And I think a lot of the, when people are on the radio, I listen to a lot of talk radio, and when they actually talk about a product, I think one of the biggest things is called My Pillow around here. I don't know if you guys have that. The announcers will talk about My Pillow like they utilize it every day. And even if they do or not, I don't know if they've, they're obviously getting sponsored from it. It's not like they actually give a crap one way or another. They could, but it's irrelevant. But that's how I see ad revenue, at least.
Yeah. So I mean, Philip DeFranco, I felt, did that very well with things like Ting and Squarespace. And then also, I think Star Talk also does it really well. Chuck Nice is the guy who pretty much does all the ads for Star Talk. And he says he owns a Casper mattress, and that's one of the people that does it. The box, I can't remember what it is, where they deliver food to your house, Blue Apron. Thank you. I just read Drew's lips and I understood it.
Nice.
We got that connection. And then, of course, like Squarespace was another one that even StarTalk uses. So I think those kind of things are awesome.
Franco used Squarespace for a while too.
Yeah, he had Like Totally Awesome, Like Totally Awesome was like way back in the day, and that was on Squarespace. And then I used to like when I was researching for news, I think it was Like Totally Awesome, right? I don't remember.
Yeah, one of those channels.
Yeah, it was some website that he had. I can't remember the name of it now, but I used to like check that all the time and be like, "Oh, this is interesting news." So yeah, but yeah. So from our old fandom of Philip DeFranco, welcome anybody that's listening to this from the Philip DeFranco fandom. Let's talk about some newly discovered fandom of Dale's that I introduced him to while we were at Planet Comic-Con.
Yeah, so I actually finished season 1 and 2 and started episode 1. I think that's all there is of season 3. I only seen the episode 1. If there's more, I haven't seen it. However, I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would at first. I was like, oh, this is kind of stupid, but I do like Family Guy. I do like, that kind of mean humor, or the dry humor, whatever they have. So I definitely really enjoy it. All the jokes that Josh was making at Planet Comic-Con, Get Swifty, Tiny Rick, a few other things. I just thought it was absolutely stupid when I was hearing it. I was like, this is stupid, Josh. Why are you telling me about it? But Dale, now I can't get enough.
Dale was at one point, Dale was like, I really wish he would stop just saying that. And Josh would
now it's like,
oh yeah,
now I say Get Swifty to my wife, and she's like, stop it, Dale. I know what it's from. I don't want to hear it. And she just she hates it. But yeah, I definitely wanted to, people that probably listen to us or are out there definitely like Rick and Morty. And it's a good show. I definitely recommend it, especially if like the cartoon bantered. But yeah,
So one of the things I said at Planet Comic-Con was I think that Rick and Morty probably has one of the largest cult followings right now. Just like, Adventure Time a couple years ago was really big. I don't know. I honestly, personally, I feel like I saw more Rick and Morty cosplays than I did Harley Quinn. But it was right up there, probably neck and neck. I love Rick and Morty. Dan Harmon was a creator of one of the shows that me and Dale used to watch all the time, Community, and that was so well directed and well written. There's a lot of things in Rick and Morty that were from Community, and a lot of really good voice actors. So.
Right.
Did you see that thing we posted?
I was a part of the Community too.
I think we posted earlier this week. One of the actors the actor who does Rick got drunk for one of the future episodes. I think episode 4 of season 3 that hasn't come out yet. And it was funny to watch him just completely like, fuck you. I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to listen to your talk. It's like, we got to get going. You're taking too long to make jokes. But it was definitely funny.
That was, that one's, I think that was a newer video, but they have an older one where they did, they were all 4 of them were sitting in the stool, and they had the voice actress who plays Summer, who was an actress in the TV show Greek that I loved watching. And then they had Dan Harmon, and then they had Rick and Morty's voice actor. I can't remember his name, and I really should, because he's the other creator. Joel, I want to say his name is. I just can't remember. And they were basically creating like an ad-libbed episode where they were just doing the voices, and Dan Harmon would just like randomly like narrate stuff that was happening. And it was fantastic. Like, I didn't even need to watch the actual show, like just them doing the voices and like Dan Harmon narrating it. I was like, you're painting a word picture in my mind, and my head movies are going crazy.
Head movies. Well, Josh, where are you going next week?
Well, pretty soon I'll be going to the bathroom from my food that I just ate.
Next week?
I mean, I'm sure I'm going to go to the bathroom every week, Dale.
Really? That's not what you used to do.
It was once a week, probably. Dale's referring to my once a week poopies.
That's not.
I don't
right.
think you needed to say it. I think everybody understood.
Yeah, first of all, we could have inferred that. Second of all, you've got to be more regular than that, Josh.
I am now. Well-balanced diet. No, I will be leaving.
Captain Crunch and burritos.
I will be leaving Nebraska on Sunday evening or Monday morning really early, driving throughout most of the evening, camping out, and then finishing my drive Monday and arriving in Dearborn, Michigan / Canton, Michigan / just Michigan in general. And I will be there for a full week, paid vacation, my first full week manager paid vacation. I'm excited. Gonna maybe possibly hit up Motor City Con, and a couple other things. So it'll be interesting. I'll be glad to have some fun with everybody and see some old faces. I really want to go to Cedar Point.
Josh is gonna get swifty.
Gonna get swifty. Take off my panties. Shit on the floor more than once in a week.
Yeah, if you go to Cedar Point, I'm definitely not going to go with you. So that's going to be a you and Daniel thing.
We would totally. I would love to talk science of roller coasters with someone from Cedar Point. I think that would be awesome.
Who from Cedar Point would give a shit? They're all just teenagers working.
No, I don't mean I'm not going to ask the guess your age person. I'm going to be hey, so-and-so who's an engineer, how do I get in touch with one of the engineers for Cedar Point? And then
those
talk
guys,
to someone who.
Okay, hold on, pause. Those guys who design and engineer those, they are not on site at all anymore. They come in, they design those, and then they have people come out and do maintenance on roller coasters. Those guys,
even the maintenance guy probably has very little knowledge of how that thing works. He just knows that certain things need to be fixed.
Yeah,
certain things break.
But I mean, the designer. I know it sounds terrible, but who knows the name of any of these roller coaster designers? I don't mean to be an asshole, and I hope he doesn't ever hear this or she ever hears this. But how famous are they really?
That's what.
They could totally do this podcast.
No, but that's what I'm saying is you're not going to find them there. It's not going to be there.
No, but I could be hey, general manager of the grounds, who can I contact to get in touch with this person?
Pretty sure you could find it quicker with a Google search.
I was going to say,
can you find me that information? I'll invite the guy to Cedar Point. We'll go for a ride in the Tesla, and because there's a Sandusky supercharger. So
I will look online. Any specific roller coaster we're looking up?
I mean, my personal favorite's the Millennium Force, but
okay,
and the Raptor. Both those guys are pretty awesome.
Cool.
I wish you liked roller coasters, Dale.
I don't like heights.
Man, I'm about to go skydiving.
See, and there's a difference though. It's because people always think oh, you're too scared to go on them. Well, it's yes and no. It's that I've been on, I think, every single one of the roller coasters. I don't like it. It's why do you go to see a scary movie? Because you like to be freaked out or you like the thrill of it. Well, if you like that, then you're going to continue to go back. Since I don't like to go to a scary movie or I don't like to go on a roller coaster, it's not fun. So I don't want to do it if it's not fun. That's the whole point of me doing those things. Is
actually, that's very factual for how I feel about scary movies. I don't like going to scary movies because either I'm not I don't get scared by them, but I just don't find them entertaining.
Exactly.
They're very boring. I don't know. There's something about a roller coaster that just gets the people going. Now, granted, in my older age, I find that I used to be able to hit up all of Cedar Point, multiple roller coasters all day and open to close and just be fine. And the last time I went to Cedar Point, I made it through half of the park, and I was all right, guys, let's pack it up, go home early. Because, yeah.
It's just because it takes a toll on your body a lot more than normal or when you're younger, at least.
This was years ago, too. I was 20 years old, probably, or 19. So I wasn't nearly as big as I am now. And even Derek got worn out, and Derek's in really good shape. He also licked my shoe after we were done walking around the park. Which was
I had to do very little research to figure out who the designer for the Raptor is. Like,
do you have
so
his
little.
email address?
I have his name. I mean, he's in Germany, so he's not going to be around here anytime soon. It's Warren Stengel. Warren Stengel.
Give me an email, Dale.
I'll give you I'll give you his information momentarily, but he also designed the Maverick.
Okay. Okay. The Mavericks, like the other similar roller coaster to that one. There's also one in Kansas City called the Patriot, which is very similar to the Maverick and the Raptor, like combined together. But
I'm sorry. He also he was maintained his position in the amusement park ever since. He has worked on the most world record-breaking roller coasters: Son of the Beast, Millennium Force, Superman the Ride, Top Thrills Dragster. So a lot of the
okay, so basically all the rides that I love
Yeah.
at Cedar Point and then at King Ka as well.
It was one of two people. It was him, which is Stengel, and then this other one that I won't be able to read. It's like Schwarzkopf.
Oh, yeah, Schwarzkopf, my favorite.
Yeah. I'll look up emails.
Yeah, honestly, if we could reach out to him before like I go to Cedar Point, like I would love to. Oh, it would be sweet. Drew, the offer's still on the table if you want to come.
I don't have enough time. I would love to. And also, you're leaving a lot earlier than was planned in the first place. So
I mean, technically, I can leave later. I mean, I'm not really planning on doing anything the first couple days that I'm in Michigan. Hopefully, there's people there that want to hang out.
yeah. I don't think I can make that work.
And this will also be my third
This
long
weekend.
trip in
This-
the.
That weekend. I guess that weekend next. Actually, technically, I wouldn't have Charlie. Oh, we'll talk.
Okay. But I would also have this would be my third long trip in the Tesla. Second, I mean, it would tie the longest trip, which was to Michigan in the winter. Except now I'll be going to Michigan in the summer. So that would be very interesting to see how that works out. I would really hope that I can make it there. We'll see.
So, what's next, guys? We got.
Well, I mean, speaking of whether or not I can make it there, I can at least try to make it there.
Do or do not, Josh. There is no try.
Thank you for that transition. All right, Dale, give me your opinion on that.
Dale,
Yes.
what's going on with this?
Okay, so I saw this online. It was literally a meme of Yoda and whatnot. And it said, do or do not, there is no try.
It's
And
not a meme. That's just a quote. Yeah.
okay, but it's a meme of a quote. Point is, not fuck you guys. Point is, why is there no try? Because it's like the whole like we talked about before, Schrodinger's cat. It's either one state or the other state. It's either he's doing it, he tries to do it until he does it, or he tries to do it until he doesn't do it. So the mere act of you doing it until you either succeed or not succeed is the trying. So wouldn't that's technically, be trying?
I know what Josh is going to say is there is no in between.
What if you
If you don't do it, or if you're not doing it, then that's the do not. So you're doing it, or you're not doing it. You're do not. The try doesn't matter.
Well, it's still that it doesn't mean it doesn't matter. It just means that it's not the end
irrelevant.
result. But it's still
irrelevant.
trying.
Well, you're not infinitely trying.
No, but it's still trying. It's not like it's not. Nobody has ever tried during the process.
All right,
But-
go ahead, Josh.
So I think, what this makes it very simple. Like when you talk to, we say this a lot, and I actually use another Star Wars quote to back this one. At work, we use the word, like, whenever we say, I hope to get this done. Like a lot of times people catch us and they're like, hey, don't use the word hope. And my biggest thing for that is like rebellions are built on hope. But the same kind of things with try. Like you can't go into, for instance, like a sale and say, well, I'm going to try to get this person to buy this. Because if you do that and they say no, then, you're just going to be like, oh, well, I tried. And you're not going to succeed. But if you go in it with the, like, I'm going to sell this person this thing, and they say no, you're going to overcome that objection. You're going to keep doing it. You're going to keep doing it. And yes, that is the act of trying, but you're
still not going to succeed always.
No, and then
that's trying to sale.
That's the do not at that point in time.
But it's still the act of is trying to do and not succeeding is still trying. But it's the mental state. Like, it's the mental preparedness that you go into something and you're not going to stop until you can't go any further. And whether that means, like, I'm going to move this with my mind and use the force, like it's, I can try to use the force to lift my X-Wing out of the bog, or I can just do it. And like, by not giving myself the scapegoat of not doing it and giving up at, well, I tried, then boom, like, then you're able to do it, like, if you just don't give up, because if you say that you're going to try, then you can give up at trying.
And that's good enough for your mental state. There's a really good sports clip. I can't remember what. Ooh, the Ducks scored a goal. Sorry. Quack. So there's a really good sports. Speaking of sports, there's a really good sports clip that the guy, this guy, is like the captain of a football team, and he giggles about some, beating some teams' butts when they had almost lost the last game to the team, right? And so the coach,
your very best. Give me your very best.
Yeah, you know exactly what, the one I'm talking about. He's like, do you think you could put, the 150-pound guy on you, or 125-pound kicker on your back, and do a squat crawl for 20 yards? And he's like, yeah, I think I could do that. He's like, you think you could do it 50 yards? And he's like, oh, I don't know, that's a long way. He's like, will you try for me? Will you do your best? And he says, well, I mean, I can try. He says, no, I want to know, will you do it or you won't? He said, yeah, I think I could do it. And then he blindfolds him, and he makes him go 100.
Why does he blindfold him?
Because that way he doesn't see the end goal.
Because what he said, he wanted his very best. And he says, you're going to give me your very best? And he's like, yeah, I'll give you my very best. He's like, that's all I want. You think your very best will get you to the 50? Let's do it. Give me your very best. And then he kept pushing him. He kept driving him. He gets down to his level. This is one of my favorite coaching techniques. So I love it. Gets down there, he's yelling, he's crawling with him. And this guy's doing what's called a suicide. It's where you end up holding a person on your back and you crawl, a death crawl. That's what I meant, not suicide. Similar phrasing, I guess. But it's a death crawl, and you're holding one of your players on your back. They're holding on to your shoulder pads, and you're crawling on your feet and hands, not using your knees or anything like that. And you're trying to crawl the length of this field. And Brock is the name of the athlete. And as he's going, he's, my arms are burning. He's like, let it burn. Keep trying. Keep doing it. And it's a very emotional scene. It's from a movie called Facing the Giants. I almost cry. Like, it's awesome. And then he gets to the end, and he's like, okay, take off your blindfold and look up. He's like, you're in the end zone. And so he went end zone to end zone with a 120-pound man on his back.
And then the kicker is, he goes, Coach, I'm 150 pounds.
It's pretty good.
Okay, well, that story and any other story you could have said still means that he tried to do it, and whether or not he succeeded or not is irrelevant.
But he's saying, but the point of
It's a good sentiment, but
No.
that's all it is.
The point of saying that you'll try gives you is the scapegoat. So mentally you say I either will do it or I'm not going to do it, but I will do it till I don't do it.
You'll do it till you can't. You give your very best.
Yeah, and I understand that.
I love that, Drew. I'm glad you brought that up.
But until it's completed or not complete, it's still not completed or not complete. So,
correct.
It's always not complete until you complete it.
If you're a pessimist.
it's relevant to whatever we're talking about. I mean, if it's you either win the game or lose the game, and if the game's still being played, you neither won or lost it.
But I mean, so it's a mentality check, and I think
that's all
what
it
Yoda's
is.
trying. Yeah,
but that's all it is.
Yeah, but you shouldn't not like the quote for what it's saying. I mean,
I didn't
saying
like the
is,
quote. I just said you can't not. I mean, this trying still exists, or it's still a factor to it.
But you take it out of your mind. You don't let just trying be there. I mean, and honestly, I'd give that advice to anybody. You know, do or do not. There is no try. If someone wants to know about doing a podcast, you know, like we didn't just try to do a podcast. Like we're going to do this podcast and we're going to overcome it. We're going to get to where we want to be in the end, not by just giving it a good old gentleman's try. Like we're going to overcome our obstacles. And I'm about to cry.
But if we failed, then we tried and we failed.
We won't fail. We'll keep going.
Yeah, you say that.
We'll keep going even hundreds of episodes in.
We're almost 100 episodes in, and we did it. We made a podcast. We've set ourselves up. So even if we stop today, we still did. You know,
didn't do our very best.
I mean,
we're at the 20. We need to go to the end zone.
I mean, that's a topic for a different discussion.
Did you guys see Guardians of the Galaxy?
We did see Guardians of the Galaxy.
I tried. I'm just kidding. I saw it.
Did you sit there and close your eyes or something? Or
no, I did.
I went to the movie theater and I bought tickets, and then I got mauled by a bear. I tried, but I didn't do it.
Yep, I love me some Guardians. So, who wants to start us off with their quickie impressions of Guardians of the Galaxy?
1, 2, 3, nose goes. Dale.
So does that go first?
That means, yeah, you got to give us your impressions.
So my expectations were high, and I thought it fucking sucked. It always does. I always feel this way. I had high expectations. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. I didn't think it sucked, but I thought the ego is more powerful than Thanos. At least it's just displaying it like that. So why is he a sub character? Why is he a sub villain than one that's leading up to all the people having to come fight him? So it just seemed unrealistic. And I really wanted it to be more character development as far as you kind of learned more about Drax. You learned a little bit more about the sisters, Gamora and, I don't know, Karen from Doctor Who. I can't remember her name. But can't remember.
Gamora and
Gamora. Yeah.
Karen. Every group says a Karen.
Yeah. What's the blue girl's name? Exactly. You don't know. So it's the Doctor Who girl. Point is, Amy Pond and Gamora, they were sisters. And so you had character development there. You had character development with Drax. But as far as you didn't have, they seem to be more connected as a group. And I would like to see more of that. I'd like to see more of the plot development. I think there was, I don't know, it was very, they kind of just Crash were like, oh, and then they went with him. So,
it was Crash, and then I Am Your Father, and then and then they went with him.
Okay, whatever. So I don't know. I thought it could be a little different, or maybe it was a more end story for that. But whatever.
All right, Josh, you go, because I've got lots to say.
Ego? See what I did there? See what I did there with my Igo? Yeah. So one of the best things about Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. I think I'm going to have to go see it again. Dale just rolls his eyes because he's like, oh, whatever. But I think we're going to see it again.
It's all 80s music. Why would I like 80s music?
Okay, first of all, it opens with one of the greatest and happiest songs known to man, Mr. Blue Sky, with a tiny baby Groot dancing around.
Katy Perry?
That is not the happiest song known to man.
Happy by William Pharrell?
No, it's still not.
Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is you.
No, ELO, Mr. Blue Sky, is one of the happiest songs. I forgot, there's actually science to prove that Mr. Blue Sky is one of the happiest songs out there. It has to do with the composition of the music, but that was awesome for me. I don't know, Blue Suede was one of my favorite things from the last movie. Sorry, everyone who's watching Brittany kiss the dog. Rubbing the dog.
Also, before we get any further, there's going to be spoilers in this because I...
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, I loved the soundtrack. It wasn't quite as good as the first soundtrack, I'll say that. I will say that there was a lot more funny parts in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 than what I thought was in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. So I don't know. I found myself laughing out loud more to that, but I felt like a lot of it was really forced laugh. Drax's stuff was kind of forced, but it was also just hilarious. So
I thought it was all, you saw everything during the commercials or the trailers.
I mean, first of all, I just want
you never saw Kurt Russell at all.
I was going to say, did you even know Ego was a thing in the trailer?
Yeah, he comes down in one of the trailers. I'll look it up.
Okay. All right.
Trailers before the movie launched, because I don't think he was in any of the trailers for the movie. He was known to be in it, and he knew we knew the character, but I don't think we actually saw him officially. But go on, Drew.
Oh, I was just gonna say, are you wrapped up? Do you have any more?
I'm as wrapped as I'm gonna be for right now.
Okay. All right. So I don't know either.
And I took 2 seconds to find it. 2 minutes and 14 seconds of a 2 minute and 20 second Guardians of the Galaxy trailer aired February 28th. Yeah.
Maybe I didn't watch.
Keith says, "Well, I'm your father, Peter." So
they give away the biggest spoiler of the 2017. Just kidding. No. Okay. So right off the bat, I don't know if you guys know, I was on the Nerdcast. I recorded the Nerdcast last night before we were going to record.
I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit, and all the talking points that I made, I pretty much wrote down. So this is the way I feel about it. And I feel Iggy had made the point that he thought, get out of here, dog. Iggy had made the point that he thought that Guardians 1 was better, and he couldn't put a feeling to it. So the way I kind of made it was Guardians 1 was great because it was a brand new hype movie. You know, it was brand new. You didn't know what you were getting into it. But the Guardians 2, they took all of the jokes that they could have thought of for all the characters and all the one-liners and threw them into a movie with a little bit of the backstory line to wrap up the sole Guardians of the Galaxy movies. They finished out some character development, resolved some conflicts, wrapped. It was a wrap-up movie, in my opinion. Like I said, you have the wrap up, the character development with the sisters. You have the character development with Drax and finding out how he, is growing as a social, his social cues and stuff like that are growing. You find, you get Rockets. You kind of see his soft side there, which is not his bushy tail or his trash panda. But so you get that, you get the wrap up for Peter and his father. You get all that stuff in the movie, but then you get all the jokes, and you get all the funnies. You get all the little spoilers, or not spoilers, but little Easter eggs, such as the Watchmen, or not Watchmen, but the Watchers, and all that stuff. And so, because they're coming into the big Marvel universe with the Avengers and stuff, it's I think it was a wrap up. They're doing a wrap of the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was great in the respects that it was great in it's great in the fact that it was funny and it was very developmentally poised, but as far as the punch that it gave us, it didn't give us as good of a punch as the first one, because the first one was such a good movie, and there's a lot of build up with it.
I definitely felt that same way. I think that you mentioned one of the things, the Watchers, which actually the Watchers, with the inclusion of Stan Lee being like an informant for them, so that's actually binded a lot more of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the Sony Marvel Cinematic Universe as well. Things like Fantastic Four and the old Spider-Mans, technically, where Stan Lee was present in those, could still now technically be some sort of reality, some alternate universe that Stan Lee as the Watcher could have been in. So kind of interesting. I think I like that idea, because then it brings in, like Spider-Man 2, who's going to be, our next big film, I think, that we're... Yeah. Is it Spider-Man and then Thor Ragnarok, or...
Spider-Man Homecoming and then Thor Ragnarok this year. So I had...
Drew, why do you keep laughing?
Just because I have a couple lovely people in my presence. Miss Refrigerator and Abradolf Linkler. Anyway, so when we were talking about the Watchers on the Nerdcast, I actually brought up the point where, because Stan Lee's more so in like a space suit in that scene, that he's not actually a Watcher, but just somebody who's been around.
He's the informant for the Watchers.
Yeah, but
Like in the credits of Guardians of the Galaxy, that's what he's labeled as.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like it's 100% canon. He is the informant for the Watchers, which would tie in all of the things that he's been in.
I knew that was something that had been thrown around prior to the actual release. So.
And silence. You guys want to move on to sciencey news?
That's when you said science. I thought so. You said silence, but I thought you said science, and I was like, and science.
Well, here, let's finish this up. What do you guys like? Let's give a rating.
I give it a 5 out of 7.
Perfect score.
Perfect score.
I agree with that.
I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 baby Groots with 1 teen Groot added into it. You guys stuck around for all the stuff after the movie, correct?
Yeah,
You know,
there's 5 of them.
I can't pick up your vine. It's so hard if I can't pick up your vines after you.
That's right. Those are jizz vines.
Oh,
It was Jizz Vines, wasn't it?
That had to be. I mean, like it was like the same thing that happened to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Like, in case you guys didn't ever catch that in the original Spider-Man, like the web slinging stuff was supposed to be like going through puberty and like nighttime nocturnal emissions and stuff like that. Like all the things that we read about in. Okay, I'm just going to say this right now. You know, I'm going to put the kibosh on this. This has nothing to do with our sciencey topic of the day, but I'm calling bullshit on the nocturnal emissions thing that I was told over and over was going to happen to people.
Wet dreams?
Yes.
Yeah, I never had one.
What do you mean?
Like they made it like such a big deal in elementary school when we were taking like sex ed and like knowing our bodies that like some people have wet dreams and nocturnal emissions. No, like kids masturbate before they go to sleep and then they wake up in their jizzy underpants the next morning. Like it's not like, and then they're like, Mom, Dad, I don't know what happened. And the parents are like, oh, I guess it just came out overnight. Like, and then like dad and son like wink at each other. Like it's, I don't like, I just, it's just
planet and sun wink at each other.
But I mean, this is just like, I don't believe, like, I feel so lied to because I think that never happened to me or any of my other male friends. Like either we're just too stubborn to admit it or like.
I understand what you're saying, but that never happened.
I know. I don't think it does. Like, I think it's just.
I think it's fake. I think it's completely fake. I think that
I'm sorry. I'm so sidetracked.
No, it's completely fine. This is great. This is great material.
Josh
here.
is thinking about children's dinglings. That's what.
No, the context was Tobey Maguire, like, in preteen puberty thing. Like, that's where this came up into context.
So what I think it is there's always a little bit of juice still in the tank. And so
leaky faucet syndrome.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of juice still in the tank. So when you turn off the exactly.
It's not how that works.
There's a little bit left in the bottle.
It's a penis, not a glass bottle.
What do you mean? That's not how it works.
It's a penis, not a glass bottle.
You don't drain. So you're saying if you put water through a hose, you turn the faucet off, there's not still water in that hose?
Not a hose that has muscles to force out the water.
It's always work like that.
Okay, so am I the only one who, same as the hose and my dick, I do the like the to get the water out.
The whiplash?
Yeah, that's
just
no.
It's like
I do the toothpaste.
What?
He just rolls it up.
Yeah, but how do you roll it up without like?
No, I don't
It's
roll
going
it.
backwards.
I don't roll it up like that. I squeeze it.
Oh, you squeeze.
This is now the worst part. I don't think we've ever gotten this graphic in a podcast.
So anyway, there's always a little bit of juice left in the tank. So I think that's what's happening is you think you cleaned up, you go to bed, you roll over, and some stuff falls out.
I just think they don't clean up. Like
Exactly,
I think
that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like I have never like pumped one off in my underwear. Like
it's the best.
Josh, Josh, you got to tell them the story of what you do. I won't tell it if you or what you've done. I don't know if you still do it.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Okay, well, this is what happened. Josh used to tell me that he used to, finish his business and just leave it, and then just done. He falls asleep.
Did I say this as a joke one day? Like, no, I don't. This
is what you told me. You told me like you're sitting there in bed, and all of a sudden, you finish your business, and then you just stop and fall asleep, and everything's still there. You don't clean anything up. You just leave it there, and then we have to peel it off or peel off the covers.
Okay,
the next morning.
That's exactly okay. Yeah, because I did say this to gross you out, like because I was just about to be like, do I peel it off in the morning? Like it's like Elmer's glue stuck to my body.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I thought you were talking about. We told everybody this.
Why? I don't really do that. I think
you told us, and we just kept it.
And I think what the thing is, like Derek, like and I, like both said like the same thing, like that. Oh yeah, like we were trying to just be like super gross one day, and we said that's what we do. So I think I told you that one time, like when I was in Michigan visiting.
All right, that's how I see you. Now you wonder why I say, Josh, you're just gross.
I thought it was because I was a man whore.
We've strayed into terrible territory.
That's our science news. It's biology.
Really? Oh my God!
Anatomy.
Like we just tweeted out Jessica Negri to listen to our podcast, and like all these people from the Philip DeFranco show, and they're going to hear this, and they'll be like, "Fuck this! We don't want to listen to this garbage."
No, they're like, "We'll listen to it next week."
This isn't what we normally talk about.
But I bet if it was, people would listen all the time.
If we're going to see how many we're going to see how many people listen to this week and be like, "Oh shit, they're awesome."
If we get comments and it's like more dick talk, please, like then I'll be like, I think we have to at this point.
I'm really confused on how you rolled it up like a toothpaste.
No,
like that was.
It's not a roll. It's a squeeze.
Yeah. You squeeze it out. But I'm saying like when you first told me toothpaste, I was like,
okay, you roll.
If you roll it this way, then it's going to be going back into you. But if you do it the other way, you kind of run into your body. You can't really do it that way. I keep thinking of that, rolling it the opposite way.
Hey, guys, I got a root canal and a crown.
Did it hurt?
It did. It does not hurt now, even after a day.
Were there any Drew after the dentist videos that we could have watched?
No, I didn't get gassed. I was only numb on my lip, and I was just like this the whole time. I was like, God damn, man.
Still could have made some good videos. I remember when I had like my fillings put in or whatever, and they numbed like the entire side of my face. I was like, I can't feel the entire side of my face. And then Daniel, our good friend, took off his flip-flop and just smacked the shit out of my face. And I couldn't feel it, and it was funny. But I mean, like, that's also just a very Daniel thing to do.
Yeah. So let's get into this last bit here. Now that we're done talking about our weenies. I just want to throw this out here. I went camping this last weekend, and this is the most teeniest information here, but I didn't know what
I thought we were done talking about our dicks.
Boom, roasted. I didn't know what Giardia was. I was at it.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, so Giardia is a parasite that infects the small bowel. You get it from drinking like lake and river water. It's typical in dogs for like drinking lake, and more common in dogs. And then in humans, there's less than 200,000 cases per year of Giardia. It's very easy to treat. It is not a deadly
Death. Yeah, deadly.
It's not a deadly thing. But yeah, it's a parasite. And part of why I wanted to talk about this was specifically so we can name the podcast Giardians of the Galaxy. But it ties into the parasitic type of, I guess we'll call it that, if you will, act that happens in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And because we didn't do too many spoilers, I won't give it away, but Ego's an egomaniac. Boom. Play on words. Suck it. Get swifty.
I'm Mr. Bulldog.
Go ahead and do your rest. Do
the rest of the sexy or science news. Well, I'm kind of curious. So like this is one of those things that if you had like that any straw thing that you could like, it would be, it's microscopic. It's a do you even know what type of parasite it is? Is it bacteria? Is it a protozoa? Is it
bacterial?
Maybe it might be a little too small then to not be sucked up by that straw. I know they make like,
it's flagellated.
That just means that's how it gets around. It has a little flagellum.
Has a little dick at the end of it, just
a tail, flagellum.
Yeah, penis. Yeah, I'm saying it right.
But like certain protozoas that also like Montezuma's Revenge, like the Mexican water thing, you get that from a protozoa. And because they're all 4 or 5 times bigger than bacteria, or actually, since we're talking about a single piece, a bacterium, which is a single bacteria, they are multiple times bigger. So when you use like the safety straw thing, you can actually drink dirty Mexican water and be safe from it with one of those like super straws. I can't remember the name of them. They had them on Good Mythical Morning.
You can't say dirty Mexican water.
What do you mean?
Say dirty water from Mexico.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Is it not dirty Mexican water?
Yeah, that's horchata.
Yeah, that's chata. That's chata.
Just kidding. To all those people who like horchata.
Yeah, Ryan. Sorry.
Ryan likes horchata.
Is
Fake
horchata a beer?
Rum chata.
It's the same thing. It's just alcoholic.
I guess. It's not rice water though. It's
rice water it's literally named after horchata.
Rice water with refried beans?
No, it's rum chata.
Cinnamon.
It's the cinnamon rice water with alcohol.
That's
horchata. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody listening to this. Yeah, we missed out on Cinco de Mayo.
A week ago.
Yeah, I know, and May the 4th. So, how long? Anybody know how long this Valentine's is going? Because we might be able to just skip some of the stuff I was going to talk about. Actually, no, I can't, because asteroid mining was something that was requested via Philip DeFranco's group.
Let's do it to it, Lars.
Asteroid mining. What do I have to say about that? Just kind of, as of right now, there's a few private companies that are looking to possibly mine near Earth objects. There's a lot of complications, one of which being do we send a rocket as it flies by us to the near Earth object and then mine the heck out of it until it comes back around close? Or do we somehow capture it, put it in orbit, in like some sort of like geosynchronous orbit with the Earth, and then mine it and send stuff back and forth that way, which has its own complications. But yeah, I don't know. It to me, I think it is a feasible way. Early predictions are saying that we probably only have about 50 or 60 years where we can easily access things like platinum and copper and a bunch of these other fine metals that we use for circuit making and pretty much running the world. So asteroid mining is becoming more and more of a, like, in the next 20 years, let's start doing this so we can start getting some of those metals back. The science behind it.
We'll just become alchemists.
Yeah, I mean, alchemy is a thing too, I guess. Yeah, not really lying. But the reason why, like, some people are like, well, why do we have to go to asteroids to get all these things? And it's because when the Earth was molten, all the heavy elements that were being created at the time, because of the way that molten Earth would be, those heavier elements would fall towards the core of the planet. So, like, we have an iron nickel core, but just outside of that iron nickel core is probably like iridium and platinum and gold and all these other heavier elements that get made in the cores of stars that all sunk to the bottom. And then after the Earth cooled, then we got bombarded with more and more asteroids and stuff like that, that brought our current deposits of gold and stuff like that up. Also, there's like volcanic activity that can bring some of that stuff out of the center of the Earth. But
I've got a deposit that's going to come up.
we already talked about dicks. No more dicks. We're better than that. But yeah, so
Not really.
asteroid mining, totally a real thing that I would say 20 years away.
There was actually an episode of Scorpion. It's a TV show on CBS that actually had asteroid mining in it, and usually they deal with current event stuff. So that's definitely something that, you know, is pretty cool. It looks like
There was a movie called Moon, I think, that also was kind of a very similar thing. They would mine the moon for these same things because theoretically the moon should have gotten hit by the same things that the Earth had gotten hit by. So
just real quick, if you change the mass of the moon, doesn't that screw up with the orbit of the moon? I mean,
yeah,
we would
totally.
yeah, it would.
I mean, do you think that we would be able to do it at a large enough capacity to actually change the mass of the moon enough to change its orbit, or would that be a very, very far off thing if we ever started mining the moon?
I think it would be, by the time we have the technology to do that, I think it definitely could be in a large enough quantity to be significant. But it's also the fact that we're, you know, every all the mass we have as far as transferring from one body to the other body would definitely have an impact. But I think it'll be negligible for most part.
So let's also remember here, for those that might not know, the moon was a lot closer to Earth, even, you know, like 100 million years ago. The moon was, I can't remember what percentage, but we're talking in, I think, a few percentage closer to the Earth than it is now. So if you were to look up in the night sky 100 million years ago, the moon would appear to be bigger because it was actually physically closer. If you took more mass away from the moon, it would be able to it would have to either orbit the Earth slower to maintain its orbital velocity, or it would get further away from the Earth.
Get further away.
Yeah, but those are the only two consequences that it would have to have in order. Like, if you decrease the mass of an object, then its rotational velocity has to either increase or if you decrease mass, you have to rotate slower in order to maintain a stable orbit, or it would go further out. Yeah, it probably would be some sort of both. Well,
just because just the mere fact of it increasing its diameter or increasing its orbit outside would then start rotating the moon more.
And we'd be bringing this mass to the Earth too as well. But again, like, we're talking about, I bet we could mine the moon for a long time and wouldn't have any real significant change on the mass where we would notice anything. Because just imagine, like, every time an asteroid hits the Earth, you know, the moon doesn't, like, because the Earth is now more massive by whatever percentage, like, it doesn't affect our orbiting things too much. I forgot how much. There's a equation where they talk, like, just like all the junk that like falls into the Earth, like from outer space, like we gain like a certain amount of mass like every year, but like it's negligible to our calculations for like geosynchronous satellites and stuff like that. So I'm not quite sure the math. I don't want to necessarily do it either, but yeah. So that's a thing. Mining asteroids, I think, is a smart thing. It's also one of the other reasons I don't think aliens are ever going to come to Earth, because like if aliens wanted to come to Earth to steal our resources, they'd have a better job just mining all the other planetary bodies out there. Like, you want water, there's a planet or there's a moon on our solar system that has more liquid water than the entire Earth does, so they'd probably take that first. And it also doesn't have hostile people living on it.
So it looks like the moon's mass is 7.35 times 10 to the 22nd kilograms. And we mine just copper 15 million tons per year. In 2005, that was 2005 number.
So if we were to just mine that same amount of copper from the moon, that's factor of 27? Or no, 21? 21 times more. I think I'm missing something here. Like, it's 10 to the 21 times more. We'd have a long friggin' time is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's about 7.35 times 10 to the 19th tons. That's
how much the moon weighs?
Yes.
And if we take 15 million from that, which is 1.5 times 10 to the 6th,
yeah,
then we have a difference of 3 times, or 4, roughly 4 times 10 to the 21, right?
Yeah.
Is that it? So yeah, that's how many years of mining we would have on the moon before we would use up the entire moon. And that's on the billions of 10 to the 4 times 10 to the 20. Yeah, we're on the like hundreds of trillions of years there. So yeah, you'd never come close to mining the moon enough to be long dead before that sun would explode. So let's start mining, people.
Let's do it.
Let's get our Minecraft stuff on. Oh my God, what if they did that? What if they just made drones like on the moon that you could play like you do in Minecraft? And you literally just like get on your computer and start like hacking away and like building shit on the moon. But like all the stuff you hack away, like other drones come and pick it up and then like ship it off back to the Earth.
I mean, that's how they're probably going to have to do it. It's just, have a rocket that goes back and forth and just have, robotic miners to do everything.
I think actually, what would actually be a really good idea? At that point in time, having the a carbon fiber space elevator connecting the moon to the Earth, because then as we decrease the mass of the moon, which again would be negligible, but then the rotational speed of the moon would also need to decrease from Earth. But so like it would maintain its speed if we had that thing.
So to wrap up for today, I wanted to give you the email address of the guy. He is retired. He is 65 years old when he retired in 2009.
Well, shit.
He's info at RCSTENGEL.com.
Okay.
And that's his email address for the engineering firm he created in Germany.
We probably don't necessarily want to be giving all that out to everybody listening to this podcast.
Why? It's online. It's on his personal website.
I guess. But
I mean, it's not.
now
like it's
everyone's
not
going to email him and be like, "Hey, do an
all
interview
12
with
of you.
Josh."
Don't email him. But yeah, I think he's definitely retired. But it was cool to talk to him.
I think, yeah. I mean,
I
I'd love to send something out there. Be like, "Hey, we're going to go to Cedar Point next week. Like, can we maybe get an interview with you on the podcast one of these days and just talk about roller coaster design, vomiting."
I'm thinking. What are you thinking about?
His terrible Bavarian accent.
Siegfried.
Yeah, Wolfgang.
Yeah, Wolfgang.
So, do you guys know about this month's Sexy Nerd of the Month?
No.
Is it the Neegs?
The what?
The Neegs?
I don't know what that is.
One of them.
One of the Neegs?
Is this like the Kardashians?
No. I mean, there's Negan, and then there's Jessica Negri.
Who's Negan?
Wait.
What?
Oh, that's right. This guy from...
Jessica Negri's our Sexy Nerd of the Month?
Yeah.
I thought we just did the one interview with her.
No, we figured it out that, last week in a turn of events that she is May's Sexy Nerd of the Month.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel
and
like...
by reputation...
Well, we know that she is sexy and nerdy, and she has some sciencey knowledge now. So I'm glad that we have Jessica Negri as our Sexy Nerd of the Month. If you listen to this, Jessica, I'm sorry you had to listen to all of our dick talk. But actually, no, I'm not sorry, because I feel like you kind of are a big weirdo when it comes to penises and stuff too. So
yeah, because she's
down to earth.
So if you guys want to check her out,
jokes are hilarious.
Yeah, if you guys want to check her out, we have all her links on our page. Obviously, you can follow her on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the fun things.
Warcraft, Twitch.
Exactly. So check her out. YouTube,
Patreon.
Last week's question of the week: did you attend Planet Comic-Con? I didn't see anything specific online.
We were tagged in some people's stuff.
Yeah,
that's a big yes from me.
I did see a few tags from a few of our listeners, which was very cool. So
that's
shout
awesome.
out to you guys. Do you guys see this week's question?
No, but go ahead and shoot me with it, Dale. What's the question?
This week's question: should we mine the moon?
Ooh,
yeah,
controversial topic.
So mine and Josh's opinion. Drew, you want to wait till next week to talk about it? Yours opinion?
I mean, I don't know. Do we get your opinion, or do we just get your guys'?
We just kind of just talked about it. Yeah.
I think we should get that bastard before it gets us.
No, you think it's gonna come down like something like this,
Majora's Mask style, and then just get like super happy and I'm gonna tell you. Yep.
I'm glad I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yep. You need to play more video games, Dale.
I play enough. Thank you.
All right. Well, this has been Sexy Nerd Science. We didn't say what season or episode this is.
Season 3, episode 17.
Thank you, 17.
It was so exciting.
I thought so.
We just jumped right in.
She's only 17.
Yeah.
That song's about wanting an underage girl. It's not a good song, but it's also from the 80s.
Yeah, nothing good comes from the 80s.
Not even you, Dale.
Even. Like me and you were both born in the 80s.
Yeah, nothing good. Like I said.
Oh. The Neegs was born in the 80s. Do you think she minds if I keep calling her the Neegs?
I think she does.
Let's ask her. Jessica, will you please call us at 1-800-SexyNerdScience?
Please don't, because we don't have that number.
I'm gonna try it.
Do you know how much money it costs for a 1-800 number? Because you have to pay every time someone calls you.
Wait, really?
Yes.
That's why it's toll free.
Because you pay the toll. Ding,
Oh.
ding.
I'm gonna call
All right,
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you
Yes.
next week.
See you guys next week, and I will be in Michigan. Woo!